Tottenham boss Thomas Frank is very aware of the need to beat Fulham at home on Saturday. Live on Sky Sports, Spurs suffered a 5-3 defeat at Champions League holders Paris Saint-Germain on Wednesday, making it back-to-back defeats following a woeful North London derby loss at Arsenal. Despite Frank being pleased with the response at the French champions, where Spurs showed far more attacking ambition than in their 4-1 loss at the Gunners, the Dane knows the importance of this weekend's match against Fulham. Spurs have not won in the Premier League at home since an opening day victory over Burnley, while they have won only 3 of their last 12 games in all competitions. Frank said, "We are facing a completely different game on Saturday. A game where hopefully we'll be more on the ball and need to open Fulham up. So that will be a different challenge, but one we're up for. I'm pleased with the performance and response we got from the players against PSG. We did the aggressivity in the high pressure. The forwardness and the intensity we played with should have earned us some points against PSG. But a bit of randomness, 2 set-piece goals we can't concede, and some game management that we didn't do. And that's the bit we need to learn from. Every decision I take is to do everything I can to win the next game. But it's for the long run. If you can't build something that doesn't last, then it doesn't matter. I'm very aware that I need to win tomorrow, Saturday, and the day after and so on. But that's what it's all about." When asked whether Saturday is a must-win game, Frank replied, "I'm very aware that a top performance and a win will be very, very helpful." Thomas Frank was excited by the performance of Tottenham forward Randall Kolo Muani in a 5-3 defeat at Paris Saint-Germain, and believes there is more to come from him. Kolo Muani opened his account for Spurs with a fine brace on Wednesday in an 8-goal thriller against his parent club in the Champions League. Ahead of Saturday's visit to Fulham, Live on Sky Sports, Frank said of the Frenchman, "He would be fit enough to start against Fulham again. I think he performed well. Obviously his best performance, and not only because of the 2 goals and the assist, but the overall performance, the pressing game, the energy and the touches. I liked that from him in the game. I think it was exciting, there was link-up play, there was pressure, there was everything last night. I think the exciting thing was around the first goal, the way the header, the vision he had to head it back towards goal to Richarlison. His first goal, and how quick he reacted, saw it and he's finishing there. And then the third one where he's got it, gone through, showed that little bit of pace, got the ball with him and just clinical in the finish. So now it's about doing that consistently every game. So that's the next step, but it was promising." Thomas Frank felt Tottenham showed bounce back from their defeat at Arsenal, despite losing 5-3 to PSG in the Champions League. He told TNT Sports, "I'm very pleased with the performance. I liked the bounce back from the last game. It was much more the identity of the team, the aggressiveness, the bravery, running, everything. I was very pleased. The 2 strikers scoring 3 goals between them and Archie Gray and Lucas Bergvall were really good. But you can't concede the 2 goals like we did if you want to. Here and Vitinha is the best midfielder in the world. He'll win the next Ballon d'Or." It was 2 completely different games. We saw much more of what I want. Today we competed. We saw a team with soul and character. Gray and Bergvall were especially influential in a fine first half for Spurs and provided food for thought for Frank, after he has largely preferred a midfield of experienced pair João Palhinha and Rodrigo Bentancur this season. Frank added, "Very impressive. 2 young players, said from the beginning that I believe a lot in. Archie was there ready before Monaco and then unfortunately picked up the calf injury. So we've been waiting for him to be ready again. Today he showed a lot. The way the 2 of them set up the first goal was also joyful to watch, but the mobility, technical, ball handling, mentality, character, I liked it." Tottenham head coach Thomas Frank made significant changes ahead of the midweek Champions League clash with Paris Saint-Germain, challenging his squad to respond following their derby defeat to Arsenal. Lucas Bergvall and Archie Gray were among those recalled to the starting corner, with the Dane abandoning his recent 3-4-3 system in favour of renewed energy and control in midfield. Both youngsters, returning from spells on the sidelines through injury, made an instant impact. Their sharp interplay created Tottenham's opening goal, with Gray's delivery to Randall Kolo Muani eventually setting up Richarlison at the back post. Gray then played a role in Spurs' second, glancing a header onto the bar before Kolo Muani reacted quickest to volley home. Despite Spurs suffering their first Champions League defeat of the season in the 5-2 loss, Frank was encouraged by the response from his players. Speaking to the club's official channel, he suggested Bergvall and Gray had made strong cases for Premier League selection at the weekend. "If you perform like that, away to the European champions, you're ready to start in the Premier League," Frank said, offering a clear hint about their involvement against Fulham. Their inclusion came at the expense of some notable names, with Mohamed Kudus, Xavi Simons, and João Palhinha all dropping to the bench, while those players are expected to return to the starting 11. Against Fulham, one of Bergvall or Gray may keep their place ahead of Rodrigo Bentancur, who has struggled for form this season. Spurs, in need of a Premier League victory after a difficult run, host Fulham at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Saturday. The Premier League has confirmed Stuart Atwell as the referee, supported by assistants Konstantin Hatzidakis and Nick Hopton. Michael Salisbury will act as fourth official, with Andy Madley and Cian Massey-Ellis overseeing VAR duties. Atwell has officiated Spurs 23 times, with Tottenham winning 16 of those fixtures. Notably, he has never shown a red card to a Spurs player and has issued only 40 yellow cards to the club's squad, in total a statistic that will be welcomed by players currently close to suspension. Kudus, Palhinha and Kevin Danso each sit on 3 bookings, while Christian Romero will miss the Fulham match through suspension after collecting his 5th caution of the season in the North London derby. Tottenham's defeat to PSG leaves them on 8 points from 5 Champions League matches, sitting 16th in the league phase, but still within striking distance of the top 8. Sporting Lisbon, in 8th, are only 2 points ahead. Opta's projections predict Spurs to finish 15th with around 12.83 points, which would mean a place in the top 24 and a route into the knockout stages, but likely through the additional playoff round. With an 83% chance of reaching the knockout stages phase, the equation is simple. Victory over Slavia Prague at home should be enough to secure qualification. However, if Spurs want to guarantee direct passage into the round of 16, they may need at least one more win from their remaining fixtures against Borussia Dortmund or Eintracht Frankfurt. Tottenham Hotspur have decided not to sack Thomas Frank, despite a humiliating 4-1 defeat to Arsenal that has left large sections of the fan base questioning the direction of the club. Spurs were dismantled at the Emirates. Eberechi Eze, the man who came inches from joining Tottenham in the summer, delivered a ruthless hat-trick, becoming the first player in 50 years to net a league treble against Spurs, and Trossard added another as Arsenal tightened their grip at the top of the Premier League. For Tottenham, it was their 4th league defeat of the season, and one that has heightened restlessness inside the fan base, who feel performances under Frank have been flat, cautious, and lacking identity. But despite the pressure, the club hierarchy are standing firm. According to The Telegraph, the ownership, the Lewis family, remain fully committed to Frank's appointment, insisting this was always a long-term rebuild, not a quick fix. There is frustration behind the scenes, particularly at Frank's constant tactical changes, which some believe are disrupting rhythm and confidence. Several players are also said to want the manager to lean more heavily on the strengths of the squad, rather than reshaping the system every week. Still, Spurs insist there will be no knee-jerk reaction. The squad trained as normal on Monday, before flying to France for their Champions League showdown against Paris Saint-Germain, a match that now carries huge significance. Speaking after the derby defeat, a visibly frustrated Frank accepted full responsibility. No matter what system you play, you can be successful. I take responsibility for today. The performance should have been better. We needed to be more aggressive, better in duels. That has nothing to do with the system. Frank admitted that results are becoming a concern. I want very few bad performances. Today we were fresh, prepared but not competitive. That is something I must fix. Tottenham paid £10 million in compensation to hire Frank from Brentford and handed him a 3-year contract in the summer. For now, Spurs stay the course, but the pressure is unmistakably building. Tottenham's attacking surge could soon take a dramatic turn after it was revealed that Bournemouth star Antoine Semenyo has a £65 million release clause in his new contract, a detail that has placed Spurs, Liverpool and Manchester United on high alert. Semenyo signed fresh terms committing him to the club until 2030. But The Athletic reports that Bournemouth have privately accepted that his future may already lie elsewhere, with the clause putting his destiny in the hands of potential bidders. Spurs were heavily linked with the Ghanaian in the summer, with Thomas Frank viewing him as a perfect fit for his high-tempo style. Ultimately, Tottenham opted to sign Mohamed Kudus from West Ham for £55 million, but Semenyo was one of the names high on the recruitment list. And now, the situation has changed. The £65 million clause means any club, Spurs included, can simply trigger it before a specific January deadline, giving Bournemouth little choice but to negotiate a replacement. Despite the transfer noise, Semenyo insists he's focused. I try to stay present. You see the news, of course, but I focus on scoring goals and helping the team. Whatever happens in the future happens. His form last season, 13 goals in all competitions, made him one of the league's breakout players. And with Bournemouth flying under Andoni Iraola, Semenyo has emerged as one of the Premier League's most dangerous wide forwards. Spurs remain long-term admirers. Frank wants pace, he wants goals, and he wants a winger who can beat defenders, something Semenyo does better than almost anyone in the league. The release clause now changes everything, and with Tottenham's season wobbling, January could be decisive.